I don't think we're okay. And I don't mean that in a dramatic way. I mean, I'm actually worried about the girls. Because the way we're trying to fix our anxiety, our loneliness, our insecurities, it's not working.
And in girl world, all the fighting had to be sneaky.
And before anyone runs to the comments, yes, I know guys have their own problems. I'm not dismissing that at all. I'll probably make a video about that soon, but it should be a separate video.
You're not getting off that easy, bucko!
The thing is, I'm a woman. I live this. I've felt this. And I feel almost responsible to talk about it. So this video in particular, this one is for my ladies. The ones just trying to figure it out. And most of all, just open to hearing me out. I think something shifted in our generation, and I don't think we've fully realized how deep it goes. And I'm not blaming us as the sole reason. I actually think that we were set up in a way that we didn't even realize. And I need you to know that this is coming from a place of love, not judgment, not superiority. Honestly, I'm filming this as if I'm talking to my 15-year-old self. So I remember the first time I watched Mean Girls.
Like the movie Mean Girls.
The movie Mean Girls with Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, and I don't even think I was old enough to watch it when it first came out. I just remember my sister and I think some of my cousins were watching it, and I remember peeking around the corner, and I just wanted to kind of feel included, you know, in the big girl club, and I was mesmerized. Not necessarily by the boys, but by the girls' power in a way, the cliques.
You can't sit with us!
The power, the manipulation.
She doesn't even go here!
The public humiliation.
I'm sorry I laughed at you that time you got diarrhea at Barnes & Noble. And I'm sorry I told everyone about it. And I'm sorry for repeating it now.
Because it was so foreign to me. And I know that this sounds really dramatic, and I don't mean it to be, but I think that movie planted something in me. This fear that growing up as a girl meant competing with other girls. That if you didn't fit in perfectly into a group, that you'd be exiled, publicly humiliated, talked about, laughed at, canceled. The cruelty stood out to me. I think that's what it was, is the cruelty stood out to me. And instead of thinking, that's awful, I remember thinking, you know, as a little girl, oh, so that's what high school is, and that's what being a girl in high school means. That's what I should expect as a girl in high school one day. That's what womanhood is. I better mentally prepare for that. So needless to say, I wasn't excited to grow up. I was bracing for impact. Fast forward to today. We're not just dealing with high school lunch tables anymore, okay? Social psychologist Jonathan Haidt, I think that's how you pronounce it, Haidt, talks about something he calls the anxious generation in his book, The Anxious Generation. He lays out the data. Girls today are more anxious, more depressed, more lonely, and more risk-averse than any previous generation on record. And one of the biggest shifts, childhood moved from the real world to the virtual world. He calls it the great rewiring of childhood. Around 2012, everything spikes: anxiety, depression, self-harm. What happened around then? Social media stopped being just connection. In 2009, Facebook introduced the like button. Suddenly, it wasn't just about staying connected, it became about performance. Then came the front-facing camera on the iPhone 4. Then Instagram launched in, I think, 2010. Now you're not just existing, you're curating yourself, branding yourself, performing yourself.
Constantly worrying about where you stand based on inscrutable social clues. And then inevitably reframing it all in a reassuring way so that you can get to sleep at night.
And statistically, girls spend more time on social media than boys do. We basically grew up in a digital cafeteria where the lunch table never closes. Here's the difference though. In 2004, if you got canceled in high school, you still had to see each other the next day. There was friction. There was discomfort. There was humanity. Now, you can block someone, ghost someone, screenshot someone, expose someone. Public humiliation doesn't end when you go home, okay? It follows you into your bedroom, into your bed, into your hand. Your phone becomes a pocket-sized audience, and it's exhausting. It's hard enough for teen girls to navigate friendships. I mean, now add constant comparison, filters, body trends, follower counts, viral rumors. Is it any wonder real-life friendships feel rare? Author Louise talks about how girls' culture is highly mimetic, which basically just means we copy each other.
On Wednesdays, we wear pink.
Trends spread fast and are constantly changing. Diagnoses spread fast, body standards spread fast, behavior spread fast. And we form cliques not just to attack, but to defend. But now the algorithm amplifies it. Journalist Freya India has talked about how social media algorithms act like conveyor belts, pushing girls towards more extreme, more sexualized, more performative content. And here's the part that hurts. The pressure to exploit yourself doesn't just come from guys anymore. It comes from other girls. And firsthand experience is so true. It definitely also comes from other girls. I know we like to put all the blame on guys, which there is some blame there for sure, but let's be real here. It is also coming from other girls. So both. I mean, there's problems on both sides. From trends, from empowerment narratives, from monetization culture, and constantly claiming whenever we see something wrong, instead of just addressing it or trying to fix it, we just claim it and make it our own. And that isn't always the solution. You can now make money off of your humiliation, off your body, off your vulnerability. The thing we feared in Mean Girls, it got digitized. And then there's this other layer. Author Abigail Shrier wrote Bad Therapy, where she argues that an unhealthy therapy culture has taken over. Not good therapy, real therapy for real trauma, but this culture that tells you every uncomfortable emotion is a disorder. Every bad grade is trauma. Every breakup is identity altering. Look, there are some negative emotions that are actually healthy for you, that you're supposed to feel. For example, there are certain times when the emotion of guilt is actually a good thing. It's healthy for you to feel. We've almost trained ourselves to look inward constantly for damage and focusing on that damage. And when you grow up hyper-focusing on emotional fragility, you become scared of discomfort, scared of disagreement, scared of growth. That's not empowerment, that's paralysis. And here's where it gets even heavier. We're living in a time where even the word woman feels unstable. I mean, journalist Millie Hill has documented how terms like breastfeeding become body feeding, and pregnant woman becomes gestational parent. Woman-centered care becomes person-centered. Now, this is especially hitting home now because I am currently pregnant and I don't want to be referred to as a body-feeding gestational parent. I'm a breastfeeding pregnant woman. Now listen, this isn't about being mean or dismissive, okay? It's not. It's about something deeper. If we can't even confidently say what a woman is, how are young girls supposed to grow into one? Where her power comes from and where her purpose comes from, how are young girls supposed to even grow into one when we don't even know what that means, what that entails? What vision are we giving them? AI therapy bots, fragmented families, hypersexualized feeds. Even if you try to avoid it, there's really no avoiding it. And confusion about their own identity. Girls deserve more than confusion. And here's where I might make everyone mad because I'm going to say something unpopular. I don't care. I think we've misunderstood what strength in womanhood actually is. True Christianity, true, and I'm emphasizing true because I know a lot of people have weaponized it and misused and misinterpreted scripture. But true Christianity offers a vision of womanhood that is actually powerful. Take Proverbs 31. A lot of people butcher that passage. Believe me, I have seen it everywhere. I cringe every time. They either turn it into a submissive doormat, which it is not, or an unattainable superwoman checklist. Both are wrong. When read properly, she's not a woman written by the world. She's a woman written by God. She's entrepreneurial if she wants to be, and if God gave her that gift. She doesn't have to be, but she can be. She's capable of it. She's strong. She's wise. She's respected. She's strategic. She's compassionate. She's capable. She's revered by her community. That's not oppression. That's depth. Girls, we're not crazy for feeling anxious. We are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. But we cannot keep pretending that what we're doing right now is working because it's not. More scrolling isn't fixing it. More self-diagnosing isn't fixing it. More comparison isn't fixing it. More performance isn't fixing it. Even if in the short term it feels like it is fixing it, long term it's gonna dawn on you that, you know what, it didn't work.
Everything's fine.
It was a short-term gratification at most, but not an actual solution long term. We deserve real friendships, real identity, real grounding, real strength. And I'm not saying I have it all figured out because I'm learning too myself and it's something I still struggle with, but I refuse to believe that the cafeteria table, digital or physical, gets the final word on what it means to be a woman. Mean Girls was not a prophecy, it was satire, and we don't have to live it out. If you're a girl watching this and you felt this tension, I see you. And we're going to talk more about this because I'm worried about the girls, but I'm also hopeful for us. Also, I just decided I'm going to make a part 2 to this because I realized I didn't have a chance to hit on practical things to do. You know, like, okay, we identified the problem and why it happened, but what now? You know, what am I supposed to do about it? How can I undo it? There's a lot to unpack. This is actually going to have to be separated to various videos now that I think about it. Not even just 2 will be enough. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you feel like you got any value at all from this video, give it a like and subscribe for more future content like this. I'll see you guys next time.